代表。
Now let's begin 2035 E-Mobility Taiwan International Press Conference. Ladies and gentlemen and viewers online, good afternoon. I am Scully from Taitra. Welcome to the 2035 E-Mobility Taiwan International Press Conference. Now, how do you imagine people moving around in the future? Let's watch a little video clip about our vision and what 2035 E-Mobility Taiwan may bring.
2035 E-Mobility Taiwan. Let's have it together.
Everything starts with the first step. The world is big. Find your passion. Explore your dream. Getting there is never easy, but it's never impossible. Move forward. Discover a new world. It's no longer about where you have been. It's about where you will be. From concept to reality, keep moving and you will get there. Now is the time to move forward. Now is the time to start the journey.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 2035 E-Mobility Taiwan International Press Conference. My name is James, and I will start my story today with my first car. This was my first car, a pre-owned 1982 Ford Cortina in red. 4 doors, 4-speed manual, 1.6-liter engine. A popular car, family sedan in the 1980s. I drove it to work. I drove my wife to work. And on weekends, we drove our kids to national parks and resorts. Great memories. I was 29, chasing my dreams and moving toward my goals in life. This was back in the 80s. A time when personal computers were taking off. Taiwan was also chasing its dreams, moving toward its goals, and becoming a technology powerhouse. Taiwan started its own semiconductor industry, and from there onward, we grew an entire ecosystem dedicated to helping worldwide innovators, industry legends, global icons to chase their lifelong dreams and goals. One of those dreams, a computer on the desktop of every office and every home. The PC dream, Taiwan helped make it happen. And in the 90s and 2000s, the internet took off. We entered the internet age. A computer on the desktop of every office and every home connected to the web. The internet dream, Taiwan helped make it happen. Fast forward to today. We have a computer, not on the desktop of every office and every home, but in the hands of every man, woman, and child. Always connected. The digital mobile dream, Taiwan helped make this happen. So what's next for Taiwan and for the world? Before we go further, Does anyone know who this is? That's right. Knight Rider, starring the Hof, very popular show in the 80s. This is Michael Knight and his buddy, Knight Industry 2000. 40 years ago, we already envisioned a car that could drive itself and talk to you. And that makes it the best TV car in history. And today, we are making it happen. A computer on wheels, on the roads of every city, always connected and always ready to help people move toward their goals. The e-mobility dream, the dream of kids who grew up in the 80s. Taiwan will help make it happen. E-mobility, a smarter and better future. Taiwan as a major supplier of high-tech auto solutions can help the world move toward this future. Semiconductors, ICT, advanced manufacturing, key components, software, EV platforms. In all of these key areas, companies in Taiwan have established a proven track record of expertise, reliability, feasibility, and speed. Whether you are looking for technology, research, design, engineering, manufacturing, or all of the above, Taiwan is where you want to be. A complete ecosystem. 2035 E-Mobility Taiwan is a brand new international exhibition that showcases the EV and self-driving car ecosystem. It's a platform for demos, seminars, meetings, collaborations, and business. From concept to reality, this is the shortest distance for e-mobility dreams. You can find both the people and the resources you need in 5 key areas. Move, focusing on battery, ECU, VCU, energy management system. Autonomous, ADAS, LiDAR, system integration. And in Taiwan, some of our pioneer projects in Hsinchu, Changhua, and Tainan, initiated by E-Mobility, have already reached level 4. Connect, the future communication of the EV era. IOV, 5G, and LOS communications, cybersecurity. Interaction, infotainment, human-vehicle interaction software, and share, mobility as a service, software as a service, platform as a service. It will be an international platform for global car makers, tier 1 groups, tech companies, startups, and Taiwan's EV suppliers and solution providers to come together and define the future of e-mobility. In all of these areas, innovation is the key. We will organize a global e-mobility demo day in August with Garage Plus founder, Epoch Foundation, to connect new ideas and innovations and foster collaborations between startups, manufacturers, and venture capitalists. Our Global Demo Day in August will be the official kickoff leading up to the 2035 E-Mobility Taiwan exhibition in October. So please, join us for this very exciting event. Everything starts with the first step, from concept to reality. Together, we will keep moving forward, and we will get there. Together, let's start the journey. The sky is not the limit. At 2035 E-Mobility Taiwan, will help make sure the global e-mobility dream comes true. Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, from concept to reality, and 2035 e-mobility is here to witness the miraculous change. Now, thank you, James. As digital transformation hits the global automotive industry, the rise of electric vehicles quickly revolutionized the mobility industry. To face the challenge head-on, Taitra came up with the brand new 2035 E-Mobility Taiwan to help Taiwan suppliers reach out and connect with companies overseas and build a new future. This is $1 trillion of business opportunity that will forever change the way people move around and conduct their business. Now, dream comes from mobility, and mobility is the innate desire of human nature. But where will the future bring us and lead us? Well, let's welcome James to come onto the stage for the round table. Thank you.
Hello, everybody, and friends from the press. I'm James. I'm the moderator of the roundtable. You all know that Taiwan doesn't really have a lot of advantages in the era of gasoline engine cars. However, we see that there's a lot that Taiwan can do in the era of EVs. With our advantages in ICT and semiconductors, we hope we can be a very leading role to push forward the development of EVs. I think we have seen a lot of great achievements when it comes to software and also hardware of EVs from Taiwanese companies. But also the government has also worked with different platforms and also research institutes to build up platforms to develop more advanced technologies. That is why Taitra is going to hold 2035 E-Mobility Taiwan this year that focuses on electric drive, smart driving, IoV technology, and human vehicle interaction and sharing, and fully build an ecosystem of EVs and self-driving cars, helping Taiwanese manufacturers to connect with the international buyers. And today, for the roundtable, we are very happy to be joined by the representatives from the industry, R&D institutes, and the startup circle. And let me begin by introducing our speakers joining us today. Ladies and gentlemen, first we have Dr. Zhu Zhenghu, Chairman of Mobility Taiwan Automotive Research Consortium, MTARC, that shapes the core technology in developing EVs in Taiwan. Next, we have Shanshan Guo, Chief Brand Officer from Delta Electronics, a leading global smart solution system provider. And joining us next, we have William Wei, Chief Technology Officer, MIH Alliance, that plays a key role in promoting EV kits in Taiwan.
我们台湾国际新创
Lastly, we also have Ms. Josephine Zhao, President of Epic Foundation, that works hard to promote innovation and entrepreneurship, not only here in Taiwan, but also in the world. Okay, and now we have everybody on the stage. Thank you so much for joining me for my talk show. I wouldn't go for some personal questions, no worries. Anyway, my first question, I think everybody's talking about electric cars. If you are watching news this past year, there's so much happening every single day. Tesla is building new models and startups, technology companies. Every player wants to have a share of the development of EVs. I just want to ask all of you, do you see a even more earlier widespread adoption of EVs in the world? I was actually invited to visit a Toyota factory years ago. And in that factory, actually in that museum, we saw an old photo that the founder of Toyota, they he went to New York and he saw a very old carriage, horse carriage, that was very commonly seen in the early 20th century. So he was very inspired after seeing that picture. He saw the importance to really do something very early. So that's why he put into a lot of efforts in developing new cars. So I think we can really compare the phenomenon of EVs to engine cars at that time. So I think this kind of trends really change very fast. I just want to go to all of you here. What do you think of EVs and its development? I want to go to Dr. Hu first for your take on this one. Thank you very much to James. Okay, I'll just give you some numbers first. According to last year, due to the pandemic, the global sales of cars in 2020 were about 76.8 million units. However, in 2020, we actually saw a growth in EVs. The total sales were about 3 million units. That accounted for about 4% of the total car sales in the world. So we can really see this is a trend, an irresistible trend. And also according to Bloomberg NEF, between 2035 and 2040, we are going to see that the sales of electric vehicles possibly surpassing that of gasoline vehicles. And I personally think that actually it could happen even earlier than we think. And James, you just said that some people might find it not very convenient to charge their EVs. However, the government, including the Ministry of Economic Affairs and also other related government agencies, they are having meetings. They are trying to work out a solution. So we think that by the time of 2040, probably out of all the global sales of passenger cars, 57% will be EVs, and the total sales will come to 2.1 trillion US dollars. Okay. And I want to go to William next. Can you share your views from the perspectives of an expert of software? Okay, I have to say, actually, we are already in the era of EVs. But just people might have different feelings due to the differences in regulations and also the time to ban gasoline cars. For example, in Northern European countries, I think from this year to 2025, very much of the development will be on EVs. And I remember 3 years ago, I was thinking about buying houses. So I was looking at some items, and I saw charging stations, that kind of mounting charging stations on the walls in those houses. At that time, I didn't see a lot of this kind of charging stations. And if you have that kind of charging stations, probably people would not be so happy about it. But in just 3 years' times, it has become a must for these houses to have charging stations. Okay, and then from where I am at MIH, if we talk about smartphones, in just a few years' time, how do you also include system integrators and also system providers into this field? It was originally Nokia leading the trend. However, when Apple also came into the picture, Apple brought in internet applications. Apple brought in other solutions. It has become a much more integrated ecosystem. And that applies to EVs too. And that's also what Tesla has been doing. Because Tesla has launched their cars that have already incorporated different lifestyles of the younger generation into it. And also, I think Delta, you have also been doing a lot over these years. Because for the longest time, it's very much like a very closed system that not many people can come in. However, it's changing. It's getting opener. We are making it more open to have more experts to come into this field. All right, William, he just mentioned that Delta has been doing EVs for 12 years. It's been a long time. It seems like you have a very special perspective on this, right?
I think it is definitely a key component when we want to reduce CO2 emission. So when we are researching for new product, we think about energy saving and reducing greenhouse gas emissions to actually counter climate change. And I think it has a lot to do with government policies, including in April 22nd, we have a Leaders Climate Summit. It's a climate summit, and the Biden government also made announcements, and including China and Taiwan also, that we want to reduce greenhouse gas emission. It's about 120 countries has already announced that they want to actually reach carbon neutral. So when we are proposing INDC, we must include transportation greenhouse gas emission as one of the key components. I think it's about 10% of what our overall CO2 emission. So I think government policy is crucial to the actual reduction process. So in the past 5 years, from 2015 to 2019, the standard is 130 per kilometer. However, to 2021, the CO2 emission is cut to 95 gram per kilometer. If the car companies did not match this average, they will have to actually add more to the cost and the actual sales price. So in 2020, although the car sales has dropped, the sales of electric vehicles has grown. It is due to the pandemic, and we have some green energy booming policy in 2020 as well, including subsidies for electric vehicles. And also, we have to set more charging stations. And this will all help the prevalence of electric vehicles.
Josephine, would you also give us a startup perspective on this?
From a startup point of view, I think you said that in New York inspired Toyota, going from carriages to automobiles. I think that we still see carriages in New York, right? It just runs around Central Park, and you have to pay a lot of money to go onto a carriage. I'm just kidding. We have Uber, and Tesla has been on the picture more and more often. But 3 or 4 years ago, I think 3 or 4 years, I was in Norwegian, and then all I see is Tesla. Because Norwegian is a oil country, right? Oil producing country. So it has something to do with the government policy. But when I go into the mountain areas, I can still see Tesla. I was wondering to myself, where did they go and charge these cars? And I see a lot of charging stations. And on these charging stations, you can see Delta written on it. It was then I realized that Delta has already entered the North European market. And they also mentioned that, we have estimated sales of how many in 2023, 2030, 2040. They believe that electric vehicles will be the mainstream in the automobile market. If that's true, as we can imagine, every year we can see a 20% growth or 30% growth. So, you should congratulate these companies that has already entered the market or companies that are going to enter this market, because you are seeing prosperity ahead. As for startups, I've taken a peek into startups. The whole world has been paying attention to electric vehicles. Some of the companies has already entered the market. America has a lot of startups that has already entered the EV market. This year, they have actually established 200 or 300 startups. And the UK and Canada and Australia, they all have startups that's going to enter the market. And also India as well. So you'll think, well, China as well. Well, a lot of startups in India is entering the market, because every market has its own business potential. Indian cars has its advantages, so they have their edge. So I do believe there are business opportunities everywhere. So for startups, I think, if you like, there is always somewhere that you can start from. So I visited Mobileye. So you see that this with one lenses, Int'l invested more than $10 billion. And Luminar uses LiDAR technology. They also produces lenses, but with a different calculation or module. And Russell He established the company when he was 17 years old. He's only 26 years old this year. He is the youngest trillionaire and billionaire in the world. So I think this will encourage the new startups to build their business in this market. Thank you.
也正因
Thank you very much to Josephine. So that's why in August we're working with the Epic Foundation with Josephine to hold the Globe Demo Day so that all these entrepreneurs and also startups who are doing e-mobility solutions have a opportunity and also a stage to showcase what they got. And this is very important for the development of all mankind. Okay, you all have mentioned that the era of EVs has come, and we see so many different developments and also applications and also technologies happening right now. And a lot of people really want to join in this trend. We see a lot of opportunities in the future, but it could also be very competitive because too many people want to do this. So for this question, I want to go to my panelists today. Tesla is doing EVs, and also almost all the big traditional automakers, they also said they want to do this, and also some technology giants like Sony, Samsung, Mi, and Huawei from China. They said they want to do this too, and as well as a lot of startups. So, how do you see all these different players? Who will win? Who will stand until the last? Is it Tesla? Is it traditional car makers? Dr. Hu, what do you think? I think everybody will be doing their part. For example, Tesla. I think Tesla's ultimate goal is not just to sell cars. It has come into this market with a very big vision. It's also doing a lot of green energy solutions. So they will be doing, they may be providing their EVs with the electricity from solar energy. So they will be probably presenting a great variety of renewable energy solutions in the future. And for traditional car makers, because sometimes we still want to enjoy driving, but not that the machine do the whole thing, right? We still want to have the fun. So this kind of driving experience still matters. And it's also something that a lot of people want to explore. So I think that kind of driving experience will be something that this kind of traditional car makers will go for in the future. As for the giant in technology, I think they all have their niches, such as mobile phones, such as other applications. Now that they think their goal is the EVs, of course, they will go there and put into a lot of technologies and also expertise into that. And also for startups, I think they can contribute with proposing very innovative technologies such as self-driving or battery solutions. And also, they might also propose some totally new business models or some new cars that can provide a whole new service to the customers. And William, what do you think? I don't know. Feel like we are looking for an item or a stock that can make money. Okay, back to MIH. What do? We are actually trying to incorporate the technologies from Tesla, from traditional car makers, from startups into a total solution. So this is a platform for all the experts in this field, whether you are focusing on technology or you are focusing on experiences. So this is a platform for everybody to cooperate. Of course, Tesla, Apple, Amazon, they stand a lot of great chances to win. And of course, user experiences are also very important. Those are the elements and those are factors that you should take into consideration because you have a lot of data like Amazon, Apple, these companies, they have a lot of this kind of data. And if they can find the way to really introduce these data into the field of EVs, definitely they are going to be very successful. And what MIH is doing right now is to build up a platform for different players to share their knowledge, to share what they know. And what we do right now mostly is much more inclined to mission critical assignments, including chipsets, SOCs, or architectures on the EVs. Yeah, we're trying to integrate all these different technologies and also elements. We try to build a solid foundation that you need to make sure that your EV can work very well. So in this process, there will be a lot of very big brands or companies, even startups. They can come in and they really stand a very good chance. And for Delta, you have worked with many different players in the process, right? And what do you think?
I do agree. I do believe there are a lot of opportunities out there, especially in Taiwan, because Taiwan has advantage in ICT and IT. Thank you. I would like to thank Taitra for a lot of the promotions that they did for us. But I think in the EV era, just like what James said earlier, he said that he compared EV to computers. But I think in the future, I think EV is like a moving supercomputer on the road. There are a lot of IT and ICT devices in this automobile. But the biggest difference, I think, just like what Delta said, about a decade ago, we decided to enter the market and we asked ourselves, can we really build a very safe and reliable EV that surpasses our original IT and ICT design in traditional cars? So we do want to provide quality, safety, and reliable automobiles, and that's what we asked ourselves we want the company to achieve. I also do agree that a system is very important. So every company that likes to enter the market, all these players must really base their edge on the critical core technology. Just like charging stations, because Delta is a professional energy device system player. So this is our core competitive edge. So as for system, we have leverage when we're building the system. So with this advantage, we can actually interact with car companies. So aside from Norwegian, I also go to Poland for climate summit. And outside the conference site, I can see charging stations from Delta as well. So I am thrilled because that's our brand and I can see them everywhere around the world. I think we are very proud. As for startups, I think compared to traditional car companies and suppliers, I think startups have more potential and opportunities. Just like what MIT said, like Foxconn and Delta are both members. This year, when we are reading the technology review, the top 10 2021 most influential technologies, 4 of them concerns future mobility. Which 4 are these? One is battery, lithium batteries. You just need to charge it once. You have like 500 miles. And then you have positioning. You can position precise point position down to millimeters. And then where does energy come from? Hydrogen. Hydrogen related technologies. So we're thinking about how we can produce power, not from gasoline or fossil fuels, because that would not help the environment. And the last one would be AI, more powerful, more functional AI devices. So 4 out of 10 concerns these technology. So I do believe that startups has a lot of opportunities when they wish to enter the market. However, if startups want to build their own business, it also comes to whether the consumers would appreciate their product. Just like what Shanshan and William said, consumers, when they're purchasing these products, their purchasing behavior is key to if a startup can successfully enter a market or not. If we want to realize our dreams of this new mobility, it really comes down to whether the consumers would want to buy the product or not. So when we're looking for startups overseas, I saw like over 150 applications. And I asked one of our member enterprises to come and pick out the applications. They've all actually focused their attention on battery or storage-related devices. I think that kind of reflects what the companies in Taiwan is trying to focus on in the future. And I think this is a chance for Taiwan startup and startups overseas.
Yeah, thank you so much for your response. Yeah, just like our previous speakers all said, we have so many opportunities right now. So that's why we see a lot of different companies or institutes are working together, forming alliances like the MTARC, like MIH. I want to hear what Dr. Hu and also William have to say about how this model can work in the future. Okay, Dr. Hu? Yeah, Taiwan has established various alliances, such as MIH Alliance. Yeah, so the establishment and transformation of MTARC, let me go through the history a little bit for you. In 2005, we have established the Taiwan Automotive Research Consortium in order to promote Taiwan's automobile industry and international exchanges. And in 2019, considering the new development of the vehicle industry, we have added the element of mobility into it and changing its name into IMTARG. And right now we have 7 legal persons in it, including Institute of Mechanical Engineering, Institute of Materials and Technology, Institute of Information Technology, Zhongshan Institute of Science and Technology, Auto Research and Tests Center, and also Metal Center, Institute for Information Industry. We also have 2 manufacturers, Huang and also Honghua, joining in. And what is it that we do with our platform here? One of the main jobs for us to do every single year is to hold international forums and also seminars. Like, for example, almost every October, we will be inviting experts from different fields to join us to share with us the latest trends and also developments. And we are also holding exhibitions every year, such as TAIFE, and also we are showing our latest technologies in other exhibitions, such as TaiNEX by Taitra. For example, in April this year, in Taitra, in Taitra's TaiNEX, we are showing some of the latest solutions. Yeah, the first one that I want to share with you right now is the very first high energy density and also power motor drive controller. And this controller is actually surpassing the one, a very famous one that's already in the market for a long time by 20%. Okay, so this is an opportunity to show what Taiwan's capability, and there's definitely a lot of chance for us for more international exchanges and also cooperation in the future. And William, what about you? Okay, MIH, after being launched for 6 months, we have 1,500 members already joining in. They are from a total of 47 countries from a variety of different industries, including softwares, hardwares, and also services. We have Bosch and also Continental from a much more traditional field, or ARM, Qualcomm, some of the leaders in SoCs, and also internet system providers like Microsoft or Oracle. They are also our members. And we asked Oracle why they wanted to join us. They said that's because a lot of EV companies or components producers, they are using the products from Oracle's too. So definitely they also want to join in the MIH. And also we have a lot of startup members. We have one startup company member from Taiwan that is focusing on producing SoCs for EVs. Why is that in just a very short time of 6 months we can have so many members joining in? What is it that we have done right? I think we have shortened the development life cycle by a great extent. We have shortened like a regular life cycle, regular period of time needed for development from 5 years to like 2 or 3 years. So that's the first reason. And second of all, we have reduced the threshold for different players to come into the world of EVs. Like Delta, they have spent more than 10 years to come to where they are right now. But with MIH, with this open platform, we have reduced the threshold for a lot of people to come in. And also the third one, we also pay a lot of attention to project risks and also costs. And the way for us to reduce costs and also risks is to promote standardization and also modulation. These are the models that our members can follow. So I think that's why MIH has received such a great resonance. Okay, back to Delta. Delta right now has become the tier 1 supplier for top 10 car makers in the world. How do you do that?
As a matter of fact, we have faced a lot of difficulties in the beginning because for fuel cars is a very complicated system, and Delta is more familiar with IT and ICT clients. But in 2008, the founder saw the first EV launched by Tesla, just like what James said about the New York. It has some similarities. Founders saw a potential business opportunity in this first EV. So we have decided to devote technology and research into the area. So we had a lot of difficult time when we were reaching out to the car companies. We are offering system to tier 1 suppliers. But later, a lot of companies actually are very appreciate the quality of our product. So they kind of like just contacted us directly. So in 2011, in Detroit, we established a testing and research laboratory. In Detroit, we worked with GM. We want to interact with them and build a smooth communication channel. Therefore, we built the laboratory. And then we expanded the laboratory and recruited more talents in the area. We have more than 1,000 staffs over there right now. So over the years, we have actually reached some success. As product-wise, I think for Delta, we have entered the market very early. So we have accumulated a lot of experience, and these experiences help to actually modify and revise the product line. For example, we have onboard charging, and now we have a conversion rate 90% of charging board, and it's like 40% smaller than our original charging board. So it's lighter and more efficient, and of course, it's energy saving. And because we entered the market early, we have integrated devices. Just like driving and charging devices can be combined into one device and makes this car system more efficient. As for platforms, I do believe that collaboration will actually help to facilitate or fasten the process, especially when you're working with experienced companies. In 2020, we worked with GKN in the UK, and we have great motor, so we have a driven by Delta module established with the company. So we're working with this leading brand in the UK, and hopefully we'll be able to make a lot of progress. Thank you.
Okay, so we have talked about platform, and of course, Garage Plus is a very good platform, as we all know. So definitely a lot of EVs are having their eyes on EVs right now. So what do you think?
Well, frankly, APEC has been established over 30 years, and we have more than a dozen enterprises in Taiwan that has joined Garage Plus. So we have been focusing on two things. One is innovation. So we are reaching out to research institutes overseas, and we have collaborative projects. And we have offices over there. So for over 30 years, we have been focusing on innovation and research. Second is talent. We have E-Mobility School. It's a talent education program. We have university students that participate in this program because talent and innovation together, it will actually leads to startups. So these startup cultivation programs starts in 2008. Back then, we focused mainly on startups in Taiwan. But after several years, we started to think that we can't hide behind closed doors. So Epoch Foundation decided to fasten our pace and reach out to startups overseas and work with these startups communities. So for the past 5 years, we have worked with more than startups in more than 70 countries and over 700 applications. So they come to Taiwan, and we expect them to bring very amazing technologies. So mostly they're B2B applications. And these 10%, more than 1/3, they did actually obtain business opportunities in Taiwan or start collaborative projects or actually produce commercialized products. So we have also made progress for local suppliers. So just like e-mobility, in the past, we focused more on Computex. Now we actually made great accomplishment. So one of the startup in Canada, they have actually made a progress of more than $7 million US dollars. So when I go to Canada, well, I was greeted with a friendship and hospitality. They took me to Michelin-starred restaurant because they received an order that's over $7 million US dollars. So that team also obtained an order from Japan, so they entered the Japanese electronic industry. So that startup has over 100 staff members. This year, they had a drastic increase in sales. So I do believe that e-mobility will accomplish great goods as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much to Josephine. Just like I said in my opening talk, for the last 30 years in the era of personal computers, Taiwan really has helped the entire world achieve its goal of making it and coming into the world of computers, as well as the world of smartphones with our capacities in ICT and also semiconductors. But in terms of EVs and also autonomous driving, I think Taiwan still plays a very important role. And that is also why we are going to hold the 2035 E-Mobility Taiwan International Exhibition in October. We are going to have a lot of startups coming to show us their latest technologies during the global demo day. We will also have international forums, and also there will be a special zone in the exhibition for people to have a taste of the latest autonomous driving technology. And of course, In the future, we will keep working very closely with all the players from Taiwan's industry to make sure that Taiwan can maintain its competitive edge in terms of the development of EVs. So I have come to my last question for all of you here. What do you expect to see from E-Mobility Taiwan, and what do you see Taiwan can do to make EVs more widespread in the world? Dr. Hu? Yeah, I think Taiwan's industry really has very strong capabilities, such as precision manufacturing, semiconductors, and also panels, electronic products. Those are the things that Taiwan is very good at, and those are also very important components for the development of EVs. So I think it's great for Taitra to build this stage, E-Mobility Taiwan, for Taiwanese companies to show their technologies and also knowledges. And of course, systems are very important too. It's an opportunity to show self-driving services and also solutions. By showcasing these solutions, I think it helped gather more attention on the development of EVs. And Delta?
Delta has received a lot of help from Taitra. Because of Taitra, we have received a lot of orders and business opportunities. So we look forward to E-Mobility Taiwan. As for systems, aside from the body of the EV, for consumers, I do believe that when they are looking at EVs, they would want a very convenient charging system. So they will think about, where does this power come from? So they have to draw electricity from the power grid in a very short time. So the software must manage this kind of process very efficiently. And Delta has a dual direction B2X charging platform. It allows the car to charge your power grid of the house from your car. So I do believe that this is a direction that we can move forward to. So aside from the design of the actual body of the car, we also must focus on the power grid and also electrical management and control and related institutions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And William, what do you think? I think Taiwan really has everything that you need when it comes to ICT technology. And 2035 e-mobility could be the perfect platform for us to show what we got to the world. And during this period of transformation, I hope that many companies in Taiwan, maybe they can follow the model of Foxconn. We can adapt to the development of a much more software-defined world in the future. So that's why we need more platforms. And a lot of people, they also care about how the business model can work on our MIH open and software model. How do they make money from this platform? So for this, I have some news for you. In July, this nonprofit MIH platform will become an independent organization in July. And we are going to reveal more details in our members' meeting scheduled to be held on the 25th of June. We are going to share with you some more details, some more ways that you can follow, not just about making money, but a lot more details. And Josephine, what about you?
I think Taitra has played a very important role in Taiwan for the past decade. A lot of enterprises and startups in Taiwan, they are busy, trying to develop or research for better products. But who will help us promote the entire industry to tell a good story to the world? I think Taitra plays this role. So we are looking forward to E-Mobility Taiwan because it is a platform for us to tell our story. As a matter of fact, just like what we said earlier, in the future, the mobility supply chain, like no matter be it's the self-driving chips or the converters, Taiwanese companies, they have number one systems, ECU systems, and a lot of supply chains. We are leading companies. So it is a good opportunity for us to work with startups all around the world because we're not focusing on one single technology. We're not saying that we don't want to be just Tesla, but in 2003, Tesla is established. In 2005, Tesla came to Taiwan and worked with a Taiwanese company. And through the Ministry of Economy. So a lot of leading companies in Taiwan, these suppliers, they work together to actually produce a great product. So we actually supply limited supplies of a diverse variety of designs for the world. That is our competitive edge. And I do believe Taitra will help us tell the story right to the whole world to promote the advantages of Taiwan. Thank you.
Thank you very much to Josephine. I would like to thank 4 of our panel speakers for their great input in the session. I would like to express my gratitude to the friends from the press from a total of 13 countries in the world. We got a few questions. The first one is from Italy, Nova 24, Texole. The question is how 5G networks could be integrated in the ecosystem. I would like to go to Dr. Hu for this question. Okay, let me answer in Chinese. I think 5G really provides a very large scale mobile real-time network. For example, for the IOVs, Internet of Vehicles, for this kind of self-driving process, you can actually receive information and also data from other vehicles. So we are going to see a very great jump of the capabilities of vehicle chips. And coming into level 4 of self-driving, you can actually turn your car into your office. And on that stage, you're going to have a lot of information exchanges with the outside world. So with that, you're going to rely very much on the advanced technology of AR and also VR. So with 5G, we can make all these technologies more applicable and also more possible. So thank you once again for answering the question for us. And here I would also like to thank 4 of our speakers again. And don't forget, in October, we are going to have the 2035 E-Mobility Taiwan. You are all welcome to join us for the show from October 20th to 22nd. We are going to have 2035 E-Mobility Taiwan held in tandem with TaiNEX, AIoT Taiwan, TPCA, TaiNEX Taiwan, and also Opto Taiwan held in Nangang Exhibition Center, Hall 1 and also Hall 2. So this is a very comprehensive ecosystem that you can explore. And this won't be just a one-time thing. We are going to continue to show you our latest technologies through our exhibitions. So I hope to see you all in October in Taipei. See you again. See you very soon. And put your hands once again for our panel speakers. Thank you.
Thank you, James. Thank you, our distinguished guests. Please take your seat again.
For joining us today, we look forward to seeing you in October. 今天的2035 E-Mobility Taiwan 国际
The 2035 E-Mobility Press Conference is coming to an end. The E-Mobility will be held from October 20th to 22nd at Nangang Exhibition Hall 2. If you would like to ask our distinguished guest questions, please go to our media area. And please hand over your simultaneous interpreting devices back to our counter. Thank you.
coming today.